Good evening, everyone. Welcome to closing comments here on August 11th. Let's jump right into these charts and see how we opened up the new week. Starting off here with our October live cattle. Coming into this week, we were expecting a little bit of follow through to the downside here after Friday's big breakdown. This big red day here we saw Friday usually carries some momentum into the next trading period, and we did see that early today with a little bit of a breakdown here coming off this opening range today. Flushing down here below Friday's low and our bear pivot there at 225.60. Nice little breakdown, pushing all the way down here and showing a good support, bouncing off this rising 20-day moving average right at this 224 level. Good support there by the bulls, containing most of that downside here to this initial balance period throughout the first hour of the day. And then throughout the rest of the day, we did see the bulls continue to fight back with higher lows coming in here on the intraday charts, pushing up higher and creating a nice line here at 226.42. All these equal highs here are just begging to be broke. So early tomorrow, if we do get bids above this 226.42 level, we could see this market just snap right up here to the 227.5 to 228 area. This prior week's point of control here is where this market's going to snap right back to, as we do have a lot of interest here in this area. So look for this market to snap right back up to here. And then if we do get some momentum above today's high at 227.40, we could see this market really start to have a kick right back into gear and take a trip back up here to these all-time highs. This market has been relentless here. It's a lot like holding a beach ball underwater. Each time this market gets a little bit of a dip, it just snaps right back up to new highs. And it looks like we're seeing good support here at this 20-day moving average so far here today. The strongest uptrends always respect this 20-day moving average, and the fact that we just continue to ride it up here at the moment is a really good sign for the bulls and a good sign for more upside in this cattle market. So look for tomorrow to bring more buying activity if we do get bids above 226.42, and the bulls are also able to push above this 227.5 to 228 bull pivot. We could really just see this market kick right back into gear and start heading higher. So look for the upside to come from there. However, if we do continue to trade back down here below our bear pivot and this 20-day moving average, look for this market to come down here towards this 220 to 221 area and start to find more support. However, this market, like I said, has just been relentless and continues to see nice upside here. Bulls fighting back at some good spots here. So we'll just have to wait and see what tomorrow brings. But looks like the bulls are getting ready to take another swing higher. So look for this market to continue rallying here in this big picture uptrend. And even if we don't, we do expect to see dips be bought up if we do continue lower here this week. But good supportive action here today. Looks like the bulls are trying to dig their heels in and keep this market higher. So be on the lookout for that as we head into tomorrow. As we go down the line, a lot of good support here all down the line into these spring and summer months on these live cattle here into 2026. So this market just remains resilient. Look for the upside to continue here. Even if it's not this week, we do expect to see this upside continue into the fall. Jumping over here to the feeders now. Same story over here. This market just flushing right here below that bear pivot at 340.37 and Friday's low. We did see that limit down day there on Friday, locking this thing lower, and we did see a little bit of follow through here today in the early part of the session. Opening range breakdown, but good support down there at 336, and like that fat cattle market just continuing to see higher lows throughout the intraday session. Putting up pressure here on this 341 level. This market not quite as clean as that October live contract, but same story over here. If we do get bids above 341 tomorrow, we should see this market start to push back up here towards the 344 area and this current day's high up here at 343.10. The bulls also continuing to be resilient here as they just continue to ride this 20-day moving average. This feeder market hasn't even been able to touch it here, but we do just continue to see good buying activity, good supportive action here last week and already early this week. So look for the bulls to continue fighting and trying to keep this market propped up here and pushing up towards those all-time highs. However, if we do continue to get offers below 340 tomorrow and our bear pivot there at 340.37, we could see this market kind of flush back down here and try and find more support. This big picture uptrend still remains intact, and we expect to see that upside continue here long term. Might just need to see a little bit continued downside here in the near term this week, but right now as it stands here today after today's close, bulls looking to fight back here and really continuing to show their strength here. So we could see this upside already get back underway here tomorrow. So look for those early bids above those key levels at 341 and 226.42 on this October contract. If we do see bids above that, we will see this cattle market just kick right back into gear and start heading higher. Now let's jump over to our December corn futures. Today, this market, just not really a whole lot of activity here, just kind of trading around, a little bit of a flush below that bear pivot there at 404, but staying for the most part inside Friday's range. The little bit of a relief rally still needed here. Would like to see this market pull back up here into this 20-day moving average at least, and even up here towards the 420 level. Plenty of resistance overhead, declining moving average here. A lot of the bears are going to continue to sell this market, and we will continue to see downside here in these corn prices. At the moment here in this evening session, we're already breaking down off of the close here today. And so if we do get those offers below 404, look for this market to already start heading lower down here into the sub $4 levels. But we would like to see an opportunity to sell it higher up here at some more value areas in this either 410 to 415 or all the way up here to this 420 level. We could see plenty of resistance overhead, so lots of good spots for this market to get short on this market. We do expect to see the bears continue pushing this thing lower. But if we do get those offers below 404 early tomorrow, we could see this thing already kick back into gear and start heading lower. Crude oil prices just hanging out here inside Friday's range, just kind of chopping around this bear pivot here at 64. This close down here below 64 last week was definitely the signal we needed to confirm a new downtrend. At the moment, we did see about 7 days or so here a downside off this recent rally up to the $70 mark, pushing all the way down here towards 63. So $7 a downside in 7 days here. This market just may have gotten just a little bit extended here at the moment. Might need to take a little bit of a breather here before we head lower. But right now, this 64 here is just going to be our line in the sand. If we continue trading below it, we expect to see this crude oil market continue to get cheaper and pushing down here towards the $60 level. If the bulls want any chance of fighting this or getting this thing back range bound, we need to get some bids above 65 and a daily close above there as well to keep this market range bound. We have kind of had just some pretty sloppy action with some back and forth higher highs and higher lows, really swinging both directions here and chopping around these moving averages. So continued range bound action wouldn't be a surprise here, but as long as we're seeing this market trade below 64, we should see this new downtrend continue to take effect and push these oil prices lower. Next up, over in the stock market, we had a little bit of a corrective day here, nothing major, but just pulling back inside Friday's range. S&P giving back a little bit of ground, briefly poking above our bull pivot there in Friday's high, but selling off late in the day and having a close down here near the 6,400 level. Same story over here in the NASDAQ, giving up a little bit of ground, but just falling short of those all-time highs. This big picture uptrend still remains intact across these indexes. We do expect to see these prices continue to climb here and push up towards those all-time highs. Just seeing a nice ebb and flow here of these markets on these lower time frames as we continue to just work our way higher. Nice steady grind higher here over the last week or so here, pushing off of this pullback to the 62.40 level. Good recovery, and here so far we are continuing to see higher highs and higher lows. We do expect to see the upside continue this week, just a little bit of a downside here to get us started, but look for turnaround Tuesday to carry this market higher throughout the rest of the week. Each of our indexes should continue to push up towards those all-time highs as this environment remains very strong and healthy for stocks. Look for this upside continue. That's all we got for this evening. Hope everyone had a good Monday. We'll catch you tomorrow night for closing comments. Have a good night.